Hi guys, welcome to my channel A Stitch Too Far. My name is Ingeborg and today is the 30th of December 2016 and I've got already an itchy nose. I'm here to do a quick update of what I've been stitching on the last 2 weeks, and I want to do the cross stitch community end of the year tag that Jessie Marie was kind enough to put together for us. In cooperation with a lot of us as well. So, how have you been? It's been a crazy 2 weeks for me. I've been working hard before Christmas to get everything done, and then the flu got to me, so I had some unfinished stuff that I had to sort out after Christmas. Fortunately, I was about 3 days before Christmas when I got struck with the flu and with a bad fever. But fortunately that disappeared quickly and I was able to spend the first day of Christmas with my family, taking it easy still, but you know, that was nice. And then the second day, we always have 2 days in the Netherlands for Christmas. The second day I just was at home and took it easy, stitched and slept a bit, and now it's already the 30th and I've been working a bit this week to catch up. I had planned to have the week off, but maybe I can have some extra days at the start of January. We'll see. Anyway, I'm digressing. What else did I have to say? Oh yeah, I would just want to say thank you all to those of you who watched my previous video and commented, because I was totally amazed by the reaction to that. Apparently a lot of people didn't know the difference between 10 stitch and half cross stitch, so I am really glad I was able to help out with what I know about it, and I just want to say thank you very much for all of you who commented. That really surprised me and overwhelmed me, and that was really nice to have when you're sick and you're not feeling that great about yourself. So yeah, thank you very much for that, and just in general thank you all. I started making videos in August and it was amazing how welcoming you all are and how lovely, what a lovely community this is, and how uplifting and upbuilding your comments are, and that is just amazing, and I just want to congratulate all of us on building such a great community here on YouTube, which is, I know I've spent some time in other YouTube communities. It's a really difficult thing to achieve. So yay for us. So that said, also not only on YouTube, by the way, I just also wanted to say that some of you also follow me on Instagram, and I am just also amazed at the Instagram community as well for cross stitching. I started that a little bit earlier this year, and it is such a great thing to have, to see other people's projects and to be inspired by them, to have people cheer you on when you're struggling with a project, and do the same for them. It is just wonderful. That's the best thing that happened to me this year actually. But we'll get back to that when I do the tag. And I think I've been gushing already too much, so let's just get on with it. I have done some stitching, although I have been sick and it has been Christmas, so it's not really a lot, but also a lot, and that will become clear. I didn't stitch on any of my usual whips. I just worked on Christmas projects because I hadn't started any in December, so since my last video I only worked on Christmas projects, and I'm going to take a sip of my coffee first. There's 3, and I am going to go in chronological order, I think, because that's, I don't know, that's a way to do it. And the first thing I picked up, I thought I was going to pick up something else, but instead I worked on this. which is, I showed you in a previous video, I think. It is by Renato Parolin. Not sure how to pronounce his name. And this is what it's called. I'm not gonna say that again. But yeah, it uses DMC. It's about 10 colors actually. So, and all the colors are reds, browns or greens. So each color has about 3 variations. It's really fun to work with. I'm stitching this on a 32 counts opalescent white even weave and or linen. No, I think it's a linen. Let me check. Yeah, it's a Belfast. And here's where I got to. And you can see a bit of the shimmer. I'm gonna zoom in a bit. So maybe you can tell the different variations in the colors. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. This is about 1/3 of the way of the tree. I started in the top, working my way down. And I don't think I'm going to work on this for a while until it's getting towards Christmas again, I think. So this is going to go away for a bit. But yeah, I really loved working on this. It was a bit of a pain because you have to switch colors quite a bit and the motifs are not too big. So yeah, it's like 5 stitches and then switch color and then do another 3 to 5 stitches and then switch color again. But yeah, not going fast, but it's a lot of fun. Okay, let's just put this aside. And let's move my coffee. I'm having a bit of a problem with my voice, as you can hear. I'm having a bit of a frog in the throat problem. I'm not sure if that's an English expression, but it is here in the Netherlands. Better in my throat than on my stitching, I guess. So the next thing I did was a new start, and it's also a finish because I spent the second day of Christmas and the day after basically stitching all day. And this is what I stitched on. It is by the Victorian Sampler company. It is called Fleece Navidad. And I saw this and I had to laugh. So funny and it's cute. I'm not really a cute kind of stitcher, but it has sheep, and I think I mentioned before that we used to have sheep when I grew up. So yeah, we didn't have black sheep, but still. Here's my finish. Yeah, that is showing up pretty accurately. This is stitched on Vintage Grey by Zweigart. I'm gonna have to look it up again. No, I don't have it. I don't have it with me. I chose grey because I thought it would look more like a winter sky. The only downside is it's difficult sometimes to see the snow bits. Depends on the light. In too bright light, as you can see, the snow just disappears, but yeah. And also, this is the first time ever that I ran out of floss. I ran out of the white, actually. This is stitched with Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Art Sampler threads. And I ran out of the white. It didn't say in the pattern how much of each you needed, so I assumed 1 skein of each. Well, for the white that is definitely not the case. You will need more than 1 skein. And also for this border, which was molasses color, and I just had barely enough with 1 skein. So, and I'm a pretty frugal stitcher, so if you plan to stitch this, just take that into account. What I ended up doing is just using DMC white for this part with the blended thread. Oh yeah, and I promised Janae I would try and give a close-up of that. Because it is really remarkable. Let's see if I can focus this. To see it does have a kind of a fluffy effect, and it is just same cross stitch but just a blend of thread, one white and one of this brown. So I am totally amazed by that. I'm not sure this will focus, but yeah, this is the best I can do. But yeah, it's amazing to see how well that turned out. But yeah, I used for the blend, I used DMC white for about half of it because I ran out about here. And it doesn't show at all, so I'm not sure if I would recommend using wigs actually. There are some threads that I'd really like this this is Raven, the dark bluish black for the head. And I do like this, there's a little bit of variation in it. What I end up doing, because it has such little variation, that I actually decided not to stitch one cross at a time. I did do the border and most of this one cross at a time, but I just, for the brown and the white, I didn't really bother, so I just, and then still I even ran out of white, so definitely you need more than one skein if you're going to do one cross at a time. Okay, I think I said enough about this, but this is my final finish for this year. And I'm really pleased that I have some more Christmas stuff. And then my final start for this year is what I said I would start last time. It's this one, Kerstwereldbol or Christmas Globe, I guess, from Borduurblad, that's Dutch magazine. And I'm stitching this on 40 count, wow! Yep, my first time 40 count, antique white. I was gonna stitch this on the 32 opalescent that I'm stitching the hooks on, but I was having second thoughts about that, so I decided to go for 40 count instead and just do plain antique white, no sparkly bits. I am considering adding some sparklies, but I will see how it goes. But this is how far I got. So this is the top, top one, and these will be alternating poinsettias or stars. And this is the central bit with the churches, and the forest is going to go in there. And this is into altogether 3 different colorways that my local needle workshop makes, especially for this design. And this one is called Christmas. It has greens and reds and a little bit of yellow green. This one is called Passion. It has variations to red. This one is called Autumn Green, which has browns and greens in it. And there's one more Christmas Green, which has more juniper colors in it, juniper greens. Yep, that's it. That's my last start of the year. And that brings me neatly to the tag, which I will do now. And I've printed out all the questions and my answers because it was just too much. And I wanted to show you some pieces of it that I stitched, so I'm going to have to pause and get them, and I'll be right back for you. And we're back. Okay, we're gonna have another coffee. And let's get started. This tag will take about half an hour, I'm guessing. So if you haven't grabbed your stitching yet, now's your chance. Okay, the cross stitch community year in review tag, and the first section is about favorites and least favorites. And the first question is the favorite whip of the year. That's a kind of a split between the Girl with the Pearl and A Good Day. Girl with the Pearl I just fell in love with, and actually was hard to finish it because I wasn't ready to stop stitching on it, so that's definitely a favorite. And then The Good Day is, I call it the red shoes of stitching. I just couldn't put that down. So it's a tie between those two, and I have them here because I wanted to show them off one more time. And let's see if I can get the least amount of glare on it. Well, I guess this is about the best I can do. There's windows everywhere here, so yeah. But yeah, she's on my wall and I look at her every day and I'm really pleased. And this is the first time I did the Good Day piece by Sweetheart Tree, and I showed you last video, I think, that I finished the second time. This is the one where I have the paillettes. I couldn't find these anywhere, just trying to use them again. But yeah, this is my box for beading, so I use this quite a bit as well. Okay, my least favorite whip, I really had to think about that. I don't think I have any whip, or had any whip that I didn't really like or enjoy. But there were two that I did restart, so I guess those first starts would be my least favorite. So that was my first start on the planets, and because I found out the fabric was warped and it wouldn't work. And the first start on Takapuna, which I did on, I think, 25 count 2/1 full cross, and I really wasn't enjoying that, so I stopped that, and now I'm stitching a 32 count 2/2, and I'm loving it. Finishes. My favorite finishes, again, there's no contest, it's Girl with a Pearl and Good Day. And least favorite was the table runner I did. I don't know if you remember that. I think I have a picture somewhere, so I might try and add it, but it was a great design and I loved the first part of stitching on it, but it has a repetition of the same design 3 times, and by the 3rd time I was getting ready to be done with it, so that's why I count it as my least favorite. Then fully finished favorites. Well, it's gonna get boring. Girl with a Pearl and Good Day. I'm really pleased with how I finished those. Least favorite was, I did that little biscornu pattern from a local needlework shop to try and see if I like stitching with silk, and I put it in one of those boxes as well, and it was crooked, so that's my least favorite because it was crooked. Favorite new start of the year, there has to be Good Day because the Girl with the Pearl I only started last year. Least favorite was the 2/1 Takapuna Beach, the first try of Takapuna Beach that I did. Favorite tool that I have this year is also a contest between my new scissors, which I absolutely love. I didn't realize how dull my old scissors were when I started using this one. And the Snag Nabbit, I found not that Snag Nabbit but a different brand, and I got it for $1 or something, and it's amazing because it's so useful when you have a wonky stitch or some bit of thread sticking out on the front, and you can just pull it through and you're done. My least favorite tool is my old scissors now because they are totally dull, and I'm going to try and see if I can sharpen them actually, because otherwise I'm not going to use them anyway. So, and the other one was the DMC needles. I have a packet of 24 size DMC, and I find, I don't know why, but I think there are burrs on the inside of the eye, and my thread catches on it and shreds sometimes, and that's why I don't like DMC needles anymore. Technique. My favorite technique this year has to be also a contest between beading, which I never done before this year, and diagonal stitching, which I learned from Brian at Blitz Stitch. Least favorite, that's not changed, it's still French knots. I really don't like them, and actually on that table runner I was talking about, there was supposed to be French knots, and I tried and I failed miserably, and then I just decided I'm not going to do French knots. That's done. Okay, a material. My favorite material. At the moment I am loving this 40 count linen that I'm working on. Really enjoyed it. I really like how the stitch look on it, so yeah, definitely one of my favorites. Other materials, when I'm talking about flosses, silk, no question. This is the first time I stitched with silk this year. Absolutely love it. Can recommend it to anyone. If you get a chance, do it. And Petite Treasure Braid, that was a discovery for me as well this year. I worked with DMC and Anchor Metallics, I think, before. The Petite Treasure Braid is just amazing compared to those. Least favorite material, I really struggled with that, but if I have to name anything, I would say it's the black opalescent fabric that I used for the planets and then discarded, but ended up using for the red kimono piece that I did, and the butterfly box lid thing. And yeah, I'm really happy with how they turned out, but you know, it's not fun to stitch on black fabric that's also shimmery. So for that reason, I would say, but you know, I use a magnifier with daylight lamps in it, and actually they are fine to use for that kind of fabric. Pattern releases in 2016. Now I must say that I don't really look at dates on patterns. So when this question came up, I was like, I don't know. But I had a look through what I have kitted up, and actually one of those is a release of 2016, so I'm going to say that one. So that's Tapestry by Ink Circles. I'm waiting on the fabric for that, but it's definitely going to be a start in 2017. I love Ink Circles. I would stitch so much more of their stuff, her stuff I should say. Yeah, definitely that. And least favorite, no idea. Probably haven't seen it because that would be some designer that I don't fancy or that I don't really enjoy. So, don't know. Okay, that was the first part, and it's already 10 minutes in. Oh my gosh. This will take a bit. I hope you found some stitching and something to drink in the meantime. Second part is how many. That was really fascinating because I never took notes and started doing that this year because of Flosstube, and I had to tell you what I was working on. So, how many whips at the start of this year? I have no clue. I am guessing about 3. I know the girl with the pearl was one of the whips I was working on. Not sure about any else because I didn't take notes. How many whips at the end of the year? And that I know I have 6. I have the Takapuna Beach, I have Death by Cross Stitch, I have Cirque de Carreau, yeah, I have Save the Stitches, I have that Renato Parolin piece that I'm going to take with me to the next year, and I have my last start, the World Globe Christmas thing. So that's 6. How many starts during the year? That I was able to count because I started organizing this year. I had 21 starts and 2 restarts. And I just had to count again because I couldn't believe that. That's quite a lot for me. How many finishes during the year? I had 17 finishes. And that was amazing as well. And I'm counting like I did the butterfly. There was a kit of 3 designs, so I'm counting that as 3. Counting each planet as 1 because they are each a separate pattern. So yeah, 17 finishes and 14 fully finished objects. Yay! That I was just amazed. That is so wonderful, and I must say I owe that to you guys because you have pushed me to start more, do more, stitch more. That is just wonderful. Thank you all for that. That is just amazing. Okay, UFOs, temporary. I have one and I still haven't shown you, and I'm not sure if I'm ever going to show you. But it's a table runner. It's a kit by Vavaco and it's stylized flowers, I think it's called. I finished one flower and it used to be my take with me project, but it hasn't been out of the bag for about 8 months now, I think. So not sure that might turn into a permanent UFO. I don't have any of those at the moment. And how many full coverage pages did I complete? Well, I have 2 full coverage pieces. One is the Girl with the Pearl, and one is the Takapuna Beach that I'm working on currently. I know that I'm at least 1 page in on that, but it's not like a hate page. I guess it would be like a hate mini page, I'm not sure. And that's the same for the Girl with the Pearl. I think I did about 5 or 6 pages on that, and those are not all full pages, those are half pages as well. So about 4 or 5, I'm guessing. Don't really count pages, no, don't really work on full coverage a lot. Okay, next section, first and last. First and last start. First, I have no clue. I am guessing because that was when I wasn't really recording what I was doing. I'm guessing it was one of those butterflies in the mini kit by Vavaco. Last start, I know, that is my Kerstwereldbol, my World Christmas Globe thingy. Finishes, my first finish, I am not sure, and might have been one of those butterflies too. Yeah, probably, because I know I had to give them for presents, and I know I gave one to my mom for Mother's Day, and Mother's Day is in May, and I didn't finish Girl with the Pearl until the summer, so I'm guessing one of the butterflies. The last finish I had, I just showed you, that was the Fleece Navidad piece. Then the next section is regrets. Any regrets on purchases, starting, stopping, not participating, and I can be short and sweet on that one. I have no regrets. Yeah, that's one of my life mottos, no regrets. Even if you make a mistake, there's nothing to regret. New or new to you is the next section. That was fun, because I had a lot of new things for me this year. So new tools. The Snag Nabbit is a new tool for me. I never used it before, I never heard of it before this year. And then I don't know the name of it, but I think Orietta showed it on one of her last videos. It was I'm not sure what it's called. It's like a loop thingy, and then you can use it to if you have a little bit of thread left and you need to do one or two stitches still, and then you're done with that color, you can use that to try and make it stitch, because your needle would be too long. I'm not sure what it's called, but I want it. Orietta, where did you get it? I want to know. I'll have to look back at your video, I think, because I didn't write it down, and I have a bad memory. So okay, new technique or stitch, and this is all new to me, so they are not things that have not been in existence before 2016, but they were new to me this year. So new techniques that I used this year are beading, and I loved it. I had so much fun beading. I never did Algerian eyelets, and I did them for the first time. And how could I forget diagonal stitching, a new technique to me, and I absolutely love it. And it's actually one of the first projects I'm probably going to get back to in the new year is Takapuna Beach and work some more diagonal stitches in. New to me designers that I fell in love with are Victorian Sampler and Rosewood Manor, and they are not necessarily things that I thought I would like a year ago. So I'm not sure if that's the influence of Flosstube and seeing other people stitch on them, or just my tastes changing or evolving, I don't know. I'm just glad that I found them, I guess. Fabric, new to me. Well, I think in one of my first videos I said I didn't stitch on linen. And I must say I barely stitch on anything else at the moment. Not that I don't like anything else, but I do enjoy the higher counts, so 35 and 40 count linen. And I must say, I'm going to pick this back up again because this one is the first linen that I have that has some really bad slubs in it again. Most of them that I've worked on this year didn't, but this one has, and I'm gonna try and show you. Over here, can you see it? I can't see, so I'm hoping that shows up. Yeah, it does, like here, oh my gosh. And there's another one over here. So yeah, I might not like 40 count in the end, but at the moment I really like it. I just don't like that big slubs in it. But yeah. And the higher counts, that's the first time I've ever stitched on such high counts, and I absolutely love it. I really like the tiny X's. I stitched on colored fabric for the first time this year, so like the blue fabric that I used for my dragonfly, and like the vintage grey one for the Fleece Navidad. I only stitched on white fabric before this year, so yeah, that was new to me, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm still waiting on my Picture This Plus order. I know it's finally on its way. It's been stuck in Wichita for like 2 weeks, but it's on the move again. I saw on my tracking, so yay! Maybe in the next video I can show you. So those are new fabrics that I used. Threads, oh my gosh, silk. I used silk for the first time this year, and it is so wonderful. Oh my gosh. I use it in the Patient Stitcher piece. The blue and the yellows were dinky dyes. And I use it in the Biscornu piece that was from my local LNS, but it was Auvert à Soie, I think, which she overdyed. And oh my gosh, absolutely lovely to stitch with. This year also was the first year that I stitched with variegated threads. Various brands. I stitched with Weeks for the first time and Gast for the first time. My local needlework shops, variegated flosses. Karen, Wild Flowers, I think. It's also in the Patient Stitcher one. Oh, that's so much fun to stitch with. It does take some patience because you have to do one cross at a time, and it does take a little bit of figuring out how you're going to use it, because I don't like it if it's too stripy. But yeah, oh my gosh, it's so much fun. And a lot of different kinds of metallics. I used Kranich for the first time this year, which I hadn't used Petite Treasure Braid then yet. So I was loving that compared to the TMC, it's fabulous. And then I discovered Petite Treasure Braid, and that's even better. That's absolutely the best. Can recommend it to anyone. And I used Whisper Thread for the first time, and yeah, that was okay. I was hoping it would be more fluffy than it turned out to be in the end. So yeah, not sure if I would really use that again. New to me vendors. Well, the local needle workshop with that dyes her own flosses was new to me this year, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have found it. I discovered online Casa Sanina, which was a bit too tempting sometimes because they do have excellent sales. I used Omanic Factory for the first time I think this year. Might have been the end of last year, not sure. I think this year. Yeah, I think so, start of the year. And Picture This Plus are new vendors to me that I haven't used before. And new to me terminology, I really had to think about that because, you know, English is not my first language, so sometimes a term can be new to me because it's a word I've never heard of, and it's just a normal English word. But I came up with Floba, Floba, which is a term I've never heard anyone else use on Flosstube. And that is actually a type of Zweigart fabric, 35 count linen. And I never heard that before, but I used it for my, this piece is done on Floba. So yeah, and I think I'm stitching Death by Cross Stitch on Floba, not sure. I think so, yeah. No, Cirque de Carreau, I think is on Floba, yeah. Anyway, new to me Flosstube channels, oh my. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of new and old tubers that I've watched this year, and it's so much fun. And I can name a lot of people that I'm not going to except two, because I'm so happy they started making videos again, and I hope they will try and continue doing so. So special mention for Stitcher Moose and the Crafty Curator. I'm so happy to see you both on Flosstube again. And everyone else, I'm so happy to watch any of your videos. I always at least give it a like and try and comment. And the way I do that is I just add videos to my list, and when I stitch, I usually stitch for about at least an hour or two. So I watch videos and I try and make notes, and then at the end of the evening I go back and I like and comment on each one, and then I can cross you off my playlist. So that's how I do it. And then I think this is the last part. Oh no, second to last. And oh my gosh, my coffee's getting cold. I should have taken the other cup. So the mix of questions. What did you learn this year? Oh, I learned so many things. Just practically, I learned how to make scroll rod covers and scroll rod bags and Q-snap covers. So Tricia, the left-handed stitcher, thank you very much. That was excellent. Your tutorials really helped me out. I am not a seamstress at all. I can barely sew. But yeah, that really helped, and I managed to make quite a few of my own scroll rod covers and bags. I learned how to pin my finally finished, my finished piece onto foam board. So thank you Tara C for your excellent tutorial on that. I learned how to bead, and I need to thank Cowgirl Kate for that, because she had a great video about how she beads. I learned how to start with a pin stitch, and thank you Vonna, the twisted stitcher. That was awesome. You do a lot of other tutorials as well, and I haven't been brave enough to try and make things like flat folds, but maybe next year, you never know. Maybe I will make the Fleece Navidad into a flat fold. And last but not least, I learned how to do diagonal stitching. Thank you very much Brian at Blitz Stitch for showing us how you do that. I'm having such a blast using that technique, and my stitching really looks a lot neater. And then not really practical things, but just things in the way I look at my projects or approach my projects, is I really learned how to look at projects before I start and look at things that I don't like in them and think about ways to change them. I've not yet been brave enough to completely change a pattern, but I'm going to have to when I get to the alphabet part in Death by Cross Stitch. So maybe I'll get to that next year, who knows. But yeah, I really, there were some patterns that I never really wanted to do because I didn't like the color or didn't like a specific combination, and now I just look at patterns and really look at things and think, okay, can I change it to make it the way I like it? And then I buy it. So yeah, one major thing I learned is not to be afraid to do a restart if I'm not enjoying it. Even if I got quite a bit done on it, like on Takapuna Beach, just don't be afraid to restart it, because it will take many more hours to finish it and you're not going to enjoy the process. And if you just restart it, it will take a few hours to catch up, but you'll have much more fun with it. So that's a really important lesson for me this year. And in the last month I learned that it's okay to start a lot of new things when there's a pile of whips still waiting for me. This might be the start of a year of starts for me, because I have so many things kitted up that I'm anxious to start. And I still have quite a few big projects that I'm going to have to finish. So maybe next year will be the year that I will have to figure out some kind of rotation. Exciting. Okay, next question. What did you teach someone this year? Well, I guess the only thing, I'm a bit embarrassed to call it teaching, but yeah, my previous video when I talked about the difference between half stitch and 10 stitch, I guess I taught some of you what the difference is, and you were all calling it a tutorial. I'm not calling it a tutorial because I don't think it is, but yeah, I guess that's one thing I taught you guys. So I'm very happy to be contributing to this community in that way. Next question. Did you become real life friends with any stitchers you only knew via social media previously? Nope. If I could, I would organize a worldwide stitchy retreat. Then we could all meet up, and it would be sponsored by Bill Gates or somebody, I don't know. That would be my absolute dream come true. That would be so much fun. But no, you guys all live far away and have busy lives, and maybe someday we'll meet up somehow. Are you happy with what you accomplished this year? Oh, I'm over the moon with what I accomplished this year. You guys have really pushed me along, and making Flosstube videos really helps me to stay motivated to work on things and start new things, and you all enable me terribly with your beautiful work. So I am so pleased with what I accomplished stitch-wise this year. What were your goals for 2016 and how do they measure up? I didn't have any goals. I guess I had a goal to finish Girl with a Pearl, and I did that. But no, I'm not much of a goal maker when it comes to hobbies. Next question. Has your stitching style or organization changed during the year? If so, how? Yeah, it has. I had no organization at the start of this year because I only worked on a few whips at a time, and I barely had any stash. And then Flosstube got to me and Instagram got to me, and I have been building up a bit of a stash lately, as I've mentioned in the last few videos. So now I have a box with finished projects, or old patterns that I finished. I have a box of kitted up projects and patterns. I have a box with all kinds of frames and freezer bags for my projects and things like that. And I have a box with fabric, which I showed you last time. And I have made project cards. Let's see if I can pull one out. Like this, where I put down all the information of the project, so I remember what kind of fabric I'm using and what kind of flosses I used and when I started it, etc. And I have a daily card where I I keep track of what I'm working on and what I mentioned or need to mention in my videos. I just around Christmas I made a Excel sheet with my floss storage, so all my DMC and other types of flosses, so I know what I have and what project I'm using it for. And what else? Well, I have these boxes now with, I have one for my beading stuff, I have a bead storage as well, a small one. And I use another box for my petite treasure braid and one box for my needles. So yeah, basically everything's in boxes and somewhere, and the storage is grown 5 times as big as it was at the start of the year. So thank you for that. Did you fall victim to FOMO? Nope, not one of those people. Did you participate in any sales? No, don't usually do sales. Well, technically Save the Stitches was a sale, but I started it this year, so I think it's a sale from 2015. No, I'm not. I don't have the personality to do group things. If something is a fad, I generally go the opposite direction. So, for instance, I've never read Harry Potter because it's not my thing, and I'm not going to read it because half the world has. Not my thing, so I'm not going to bother with it. And most of the sales that I've seen are nice. I thought about the welcome sale, but no, I've got enough other things that I want to stitch, so maybe in a few years I might join a sale, but at the moment, no. What did you learn about yourself through your stitching this year? I learned I like high accounts, and I learned that if I work on too many big projects, I get burned out on them. I need variety, so I'm going to have to think of a way to switch out smaller and bigger projects next year, so rotation might be coming up. And also I discovered that sometimes you're not feeling like working on a specific project and you keep pushing it away. And then when I finally do pick it up, I really enjoy working on it. So I don't know, I'm not really discovered what's going on there, but sometimes I need to force myself to pick something up because I know in the end I will like stitching on it, but for some reason I don't want to pick it up. And I need to push through that. That's what I learned. Let's see. What was your favorite event that you participated in this year? Well, it's not an event, but this year I joined Instagram and Flosstube, and those are 2 amazing communities, and I'm not gonna gush again, but enough said, I guess. That's the best thing this year. Were there any stitching fads that you didn't jump on the bandwagon for, but you're still considering? Yeah. And the Forest Grew by Rosewood Manor. I am looking for something, a design that would work for me to work in my family tree, because I think I mentioned that one of my other hobbies is genealogy. So I've gotten quite far back to figuring out my family tree. So I'm back like 10, 11 generations now, and I would love to find a way to display that in some way. And I thought about using stitching for it, and the Forest Grew might be interesting to do because there's this middle section, that I don't really like the saying that's in there, and I might switch it out and make some kind of design with my the first few generations of my family tree, and maybe pick out some random names and put them in around the trees. That would be fun. That's the reason why I'm considering doing that. Yeah, I'm still looking at other designs as well for that, but yeah, I'll keep you posted. So the last section is looking ahead. The second to last section. 2017. What project are you most looking forward to starting? Oh, that is really difficult because, as you know, I've kitted up quite a few projects that I'm really looking forward to, but I think I'm going to have to say the Garden Party by Mirabilia. It's one of the few Mirabilias that I like and I want to stitch. And I'm really looking forward to getting my Pixie Disc Plus fabric, because that's one of the reasons that I would like to start stitching on it. Because I've picked quite an interesting fabric, I think, for that design, and I'm hoping that it's going to work out. So that's why I'm looking forward to that one. And there's so many other things that I've kitted up: Tapestry, the Cornwall Cottage, the Home of a Needleworker 2, all those things I really want to start. The Navajo song. Oh my gosh, so many things I want to start. What project are you most looking forward to finishing? Well, realistically, I expect I will finish one of my big whips. That's the Ink Circles one, the Cirque de Carreau. I think I should be able to finish that next year. I don't think I will finish Save the Stitches. I don't think I will finish Death by Cross Stitch. I might finish Deck Up on the Beach, but I don't think so actually. But it would be, if I could finish Death by Cross Stitch, that would be absolutely cool next year. That would be great. But I don't expect to. Do you intend to be more determined or laid back in your stitching? I think same as this year. I'm not gonna force myself. I'm gonna pick up what I enjoy, and once in a while pick up something that I've been putting away or putting off. So yeah, that's the term. I am starting to think about maybe I need some kind of rotation, because I do want to work on the bigger whips as well. So I'm gonna have to have a think about that. My main thing is it's a hobby and I want to do what I enjoy and not force myself in any way. And I'm gonna try to stick to that. Let's see, one more page of notes. What event are you most looking forward to participating in? None. I'm not planning to participate in any events. I'm not planning to do a Stitch from Stash or Year of Starts or anything like that. I enjoy people who do that and share their experiences, but it's just, as I said, it's not for me, that kind of thing. And another reason is that I am trying to stay away from Facebook for multiple reasons, but one reason is that I think it might be taking up too much of my time, because I would love all the communities and I would love to participate in them, and that would take away time from my stitching. So I think Instagram and Flosstube is taking up enough time. So I know there's a sale for the Cornwall Cottage, and thank you for telling me about that. Some of you have mentioned it in my previous video. And I might try and join that, but not on Facebook, but through Instagram. I need to look up if there's a tag for it. Are there any materials, stitches, techniques you'd like to try in the new year? Well, I'm waiting for Picture This Plus fabric. I'm really excited to try that. I am expecting any day now my shipment of Carrie's creation threads. Really looking forward to trying those. If I like them, I might actually try out the monthly pack by Stitching Bits and Bobs, because they don't charge postage for international members, so I'm all for that. And I do want to have a go at Hardanger. And again, thank you for those people who have pointed me to incredible instructional videos on Hardanger and website of the Nordic Needle, I think it's called, and books. Absolutely wonderful to have your comments on that. And I'm going to try and figure out if I can do those videos and do like a monthly Hardanger project based on those videos or something. Not sure yet. I still need to get some supplies for that because I don't have any pearl cotton except for the black, and that's not the right size. Anyway, I'm digressing and it's almost done. Oh gosh, I thought I would only do a half an hour video. I'm sorry guys, it's taking longer than I thought. Last bit is non-stitching related, and it asks, what was the best thing that happened to you this year? Outside of stitching, I would have to say that this year I launched my business at the start of January, and it has been a really successful year for me. So that is absolutely one of the best things that could have happened for me. And well, the other one is starting my Flosstube channel and your amazing warm welcome. And do you have any resolutions for next year? I don't generally have resolutions because, well, who am I kidding? I'm not gonna stick to them. So my resolution is just to keep doing what I'm doing and have fun and try to do the things that I love and try to avoid the thing that takes away too much of my energy without leading to anything positive. That's about it. This is the end of the tag. This is the end of my video. I just want to say thank you again for watching, for joining me on my channel, for commenting on my videos, for liking, for subscribing. I am blown away by the number of subscriptions I've been getting. I am way past 500 now, I think. Absolutely amazing. I passed 1,000 subscribers on Instagram. I just can't fathom that. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful New Year's Eve, and I wish you good health, great fortune, anything you want, stitchy-wise or in life, for the next year. And I will see you again in January. Bye guys.